All right. The topic that I would like to share is about our Sarawak identity through heritage. It is, I hope that through this sharing, we can sort of like think of ways to promote our distinctive heritage. Okay. I'm not able to teach or lecture a lot about heritage because I think most of you are more experienced than I am. So I'm only sharing based on my years of ethnographic observation and field experiences in Sarawak. And I hope that we could, through this sharing session, we could create an awareness about what actually is heritage. Yeah. And also to promote the importance in the relationship between tangible and intangible heritage. So if we look at this circle here, inside heritage, it consists culture. So sometimes we wonder, what's the difference between budaya and warisan? So budaya is actually a part of warisan. Culture is a part of heritage. So now let me make it a bit clearer. So we teach this in our anthropological courses. The differences, students have to know what is culture. So culture are more prone to changes with flow of time. So we have popular culture, due to development, technological advancement, globalization, and migration and movement of people. And it can be created. Yes, somebody raise up the hand. I cannot see the slide. Oh. Rachela, Mr. Patrick cannot see the slide. Can you see my slide?
Yes, we can see your slide.
Why Mr. Patrick cannot see? What should I do? Okay. All right. Maybe I can share the slide with Mr. Patrick later on, huh? Okay. I'm very sorry, Mr. Patrick. I don't know what's going on. All right. Okay. So like I said just now, culture can be created, recreated based on needs, adaptation, development, technological advancement. So therefore, we have this thing called popular culture, isn't it? Yeah. However, on the contrary, heritage does not have that much of changes and it is more stable. It provides identity to the people of a cultural group, and it bears evidence to roots of a culture. So we see that culture encompasses every aspect of life of a society. From the moment a baby is born. So how to, in certain community, in certain among certain ethnic group, the afterbirth, the placenta, or we call it the munik, or temunik or uri, how it is kept, washed, or buried, it differs from culture or from society to society. Also I say that community to community, to acknowledge the different ethnic groups. So and how a child is wrapped. Some community likes to wrap the child with the arms and the leg long so that the child can grow slim and tall. Or some community would like to place the child on the sideways, or So when a child is born, the moment a child is born, he or she is already embedded in this spider web thing called culture. The moment she eats, the moment she dresses, or how she is dressed, all these are determined by culture. All right, and heritage is the aspect of culture that has been inherited from generations to generations to the present and to the future. Okay, so it is more stable as compared to culture. Okay, now, so sometimes we use cultural heritage, and sometimes for this sharing session, I would like to emphasize on the word heritage, because I think we should promote this use, yeah, of heritage, yeah, okay. And actually, it has something to do with our new bill called Sarawak Heritage Bill 2019, okay. And sometimes I find that when the translation in the government departments are made, then they drop the warisan and they just use the word budaya, you know. So I felt that actually the word warisan is a bigger word, yeah, all right. And so heritage is an inheritance, it's a property, it's a social capital, it's an asset, and it's a legacy that has been passed on by our forebears, by our forefathers. So every ethnic groups in Sarawak, yeah, we are very proud that we have this heritage. No ethnic groups have no heritage, okay? So under heritage, let me just share about this tangible and intangible heritage as well, yeah? So heritage is both a product and a process that supplies the community with a wealth of resources, yeah, that has been inherited from the past, developed now, present, and it is an endowment, yeah, for the future, okay? So now we have the Sarawak Cultural Heritage Ordinance 1993, okay? And then before that, we have the Antiquities Ordinance 1954. And then we have the letters, yeah, bill. It's still a bill because it has not been formally enacted, yeah, because of it was passed by the Dune in November 2019, and it's going through the process of Dune sittings now. So when the bill is formally enacted, yeah, so it will be the Sarawak Heritage Ordinance 2019. So in this new ordinance, it will include a broader scope of heritage, including the underwater heritage. And also a very important part that I would like to stress is the intangible heritage. Okay. So tangible heritage are more like things that's physically left behind, yeah. So we see monuments, we see buildings, we see tools, yeah. Okay, we see weavings and all that has been, you know, that is that we can create. However, intangible heritage is more towards cultural expressions, performances, rituals, yeah, knowledge, yeah, legends, oral traditions. Okay, so intangible cultures or intangible heritage have a higher tendency to extinct, yeah, because it does not leave any physical traces as compared to tangible heritage, which exists physically. Right. The next, I want to talk about identity on the other hand. What is Sarawak identity? Okay, so Sarawak is well known in Malaysia for our cultural, ethnic beliefs, harmony, yeah, the harmony that we have. And there is absolute respect, yeah, among all the ethnic groups. And it's not just about, I would not like to use the word tolerance because I think we don't tolerate. It's more about we accept and then we respect, yeah. We respect wholeheartedly that every ethnic community can perform, is free to conduct their practices, okay? So that is our very unique identity. And so this is the demography of, according to our census 2010. And in Malaysia, we have this many population. And in Sarawak, we have the 6 main ethnic groups. But on top of that, yeah, we have 25 sub-ethnic. And this sub-ethnic too has very rich heritage, okay? And if we look at this is map from the census, yeah. So we see that there is no one single color tone, yeah. Actually, if you look at this, yeah, we see that it's very diversified, yeah. The people, you know, from the southern to the central region to the northern region. Okay, so every part of Sarawak, we are very diversely culturally diverse, yeah. So our ethnic groups spread all across the entire of Sarawak. Now, I would like to share a bit on, let's say we talk about the Bidayu. There are, I mean, the one term about Bidayu, actually there are 4 main groups. Yeah, so we have the one in the Selako Rara, they speak the Selako Rara Bidayu, in the Lundu and Sematan, And then we have the Jagoy Singai in the Bau, and we have the Biata in Padawan Siburan, and we have the Bukasadong and the Syrian and the Bedu. And it's not only that, yeah, okay. We also have the sub-ethnic, yeah, sub-dialect, I'm sorry, sub-ethnic, sub-dialect again, sorry. So under the, let's say, just look at Daerah Bau, yeah, we also have the Birois or the Serembu, we have the Gumbang and the Tringus, yeah. So this is another dialect under the bigger dialect group, okay. So we cannot say that Bidayuh is just one ethnic group. Yeah? There are many sub-ethnic groups speaking different dialects among them. Okay, so just a bit of sharing. Yeah, we have with the Bidayuh beliefs. Yeah, there is the Jubata or the guardian, the penjaga. Then we have the Gawe Kapadi, the ritual for paddy fertility, and then the Gawe Kaman, yeah, for blessing and prosperity. And then they have the Tangan, the longhouse, the Nungan Tambak or the gravesite, and there are beliefs at this gravesite, yeah, all gravesites, yeah. And then there are folklores being told, yeah, at the Botang Ramin, Plama, Bori Omu, yeah. So all these about Raung, yeah, about Dayung Buran, Raja Batu, yeah, and these are the different kinds. And if you go from the different area from Lundu, you know, all the way to Siburan, there will be different, yeah, forms of beliefs and also rituals and folklores or legends. Okay, and then if we come to the Iban beliefs, yeah, and so this is a part of the intangible heritage, yeah. So we talk about the Patara, yeah, and then we have the deities, yeah, like the god of the deity of augury and warfare, Singgalang Burong, or the holder of the earth, yeah, Pulanggana, the people from the heroes from the Pangau, Libau, yeah, and then the ancestors, yeah, the Aki Ini Kedulu Kelia, and then we have you know, and in death rituals, yeah. Death is a transformative process. Okay, so there is a certain belief that those who have good death, achieving good death, there's a different set of ritual, and then those who fail to achieve the ideal death, or let's say it's called Mati Busong, then a different set of beliefs, yeah, surround the ritual. Okay, the death ritual. All right, so you know, and then we have the mirroring, yeah, we have the mirroring, the using the piring, turun 5, 7, 9, 12, yeah. And then in mirroring, I've seen 19, yeah, mirroring turun turun 19, and the most I've seen is 32, yeah. Okay, so it's very diversified, yeah. Okay, and then we have also something that it's less practiced now, the Belian ritual, yeah, whereby it's held for bad dreams or for children who always who have nightmares or who always are so-called like being disturbed, yeah. Okay, and then the Manang we use Batu Ilau to look and or delete, yeah, the fate of the patient. Okay, and then we also have Sandau Ari, yeah. That is also, yeah, to look at actually what has happened, yeah, to look at the fate, yeah, of people who had constant dreams with the deceased, yeah. Okay, especially those who just pass away, yeah. And the Manang we use pig liver to look at the fate, yeah, to delete. Okay, and then other than that, there are a lot of beliefs surrounding the Pendam, yeah, the old grave sites, and then there are also Lumbong, yeah. If we go to Balai, we have the Lumbong of the Menggong called Anak Jepang, yeah, and then we have the famous Lumbong Rentap, all right. And then the belief on the next world, the after world, yeah, the Sebayan, yeah, and then the Mandai River, okay, those who achieve the normal death or those who have a special ability like a Manang, yeah, they will go to a different direction of the Mandai River. And then we have we have this Mali Umai, yeah, Bayatana, or the crocodile effigies, yeah, and there were, I mean, if you look at the forts, yeah, in Fort Ellis or Fort Emma in Kanawit, yeah, there's these crocodile effigies, yeah, Bayatana, that were built, yeah, nearby the forts, and also in many areas, yeah, in many areas in kampongs, yeah. It's for the crocodiles are usually built, made, yeah, from the earth nearby, yeah. It is used during the ritual for Mali Umai, October or November. Okay, it is believed that the spirit of the crocodiles would devour all the pests, yeah, in the paddy, and it will ensure bountiful harvest, yeah. And normally the male crocodile is the bigger one, and that will face the river, and the female crocodile will be facing the land. Okay, so now if we think, it is said that, you know, when the community tell me that, or you know, we hear stories about these crocodile effigies, you know, Bayatana being bulldozed, yeah, just by, you know, for development, or people just not bothered anymore. But it was used, yeah, by the local people before, yeah, the forebears, the ancestors, you know, as a form of a control, yeah, towards pests, yeah. So long before this, we don't have pesticides, yeah, and so this is the only way they believe could, you know, help them, you know, to control the pests, yeah. And if in area nearby Lubuk Antu, yeah, they still erect the carved statues using certain kind of wood, yeah, it's called agum, and these statues are also able, the agum will come in a set of family and dress, you know, and fed, and then they will work in the farm to take care. They will put, you know, they'll be put to guard the paddy field, and to ensure that, you know, the pests will not destroy the paddy. All right. So, and then we have very, very interesting folklores, yeah, legends of Keling, Laja, Kumang, Lulong, yeah. So if you are traveling on the new Kapit Road, yeah, Kapit Song Road, and then you see along the way, there's one place whereby they said Kumang used to take bath there, yeah, and the water will not ever dry even though there's drought, yeah. So and then up along Balai, there's a places where the Tempalai Kumang, where and also the place where Kumang and Lulong used to you know, make kapo, you know. All right, so it's so interesting, yeah, when you know, we hear about these stories or the legends. All right, so here I'm showing you the rivers of Sarawak, and these rivers are important settlements, yeah, to the ethnic communities, yeah, especially the Ibans, yeah. So what I'm trying to say here is that, you know, there is no one Iban community that is the same. Yeah, the migratory route is different. Yeah, the social history of the settlement is different. Yeah, so you cannot just use one term to mention. Yeah, okay, the Iban practice this and that. Now that is a very general term, but in every river there is differences. Yeah, there is of course a general similarities, but there are differences. Yeah, on the beliefs, on the maybe the dances, yeah, on the food, okay, and even in the ritual, the mirroring, yeah, the things they use, the paraphernalia, how many eggs, you know, how many tumbi and all that, okay. And then if we look at Puakumbu, the weaving itself is a tangible heritage, but the intangible part is that who can weave it, when can you weave it, what can you use to weave it, the dye, and how to weave it, yeah. And then the dream, yeah, the interpretation of dreams are also very important here. Okay, so it is more than just a cultural expression, yeah. So from a piece of a beautiful Puakumbu, yeah, it reflects the wealth of information, yeah, okay, that has been transmitted, yeah, from our forebears to the next generation. So that is the intangible heritage, the wealth that we have. Okay, and then I mean, talking about Melanau, yeah, there are also, yeah, different groups of Melanau, yeah. Okay, in the Matu Daro, we have this the Kanawit, Balingian, Bliun, Orang Mirit, Seduan, Galang, Rajang, Palo, Igan, and Matu. And then in Bintulu, yeah, we have the Tatau, Segahan, or Preban, or Segan. And then the Muka with the Sitiang, or we have the group from Oya and Dalat. Okay, so it's very diversified, right? And then like the Iban and also the Bidayu, yeah, and many more ethnic groups in Sarawak. We have the Ogari, yeah, looking at the bird's omen. Okay, so let's say for a hunting expedition, bird flying across the expedition from right to left, it means the expedition will be a good one. Yeah, and then let's say there's a brong hantu, yeah, a night owl that screech in the midday. Something might happen. If you're in the farm and you hear that in the midday, something might happen in the village. Yeah, so you must try to go back as soon as possible. Yeah, and then if we have seen the Pesta cow, yeah, then you will know something about the Ipok, yeah, the Ipok that is the guardian of the spirit, the guardian spirit of the land, the river, the mountain, the forest, yeah. Okay, so it's, as I talk about this, yeah, you think back about the Iban, the Bidayu, yeah, it's something that we have some certain similarity also, yeah. And then the creator, yeah, Allah Ta'ala, and then we have the deity, yeah, Dayang Kiwe Uri Peman, who is the goddess on the moon, yeah. And then we have also the Dalong, and then they also believe, yeah, the Melana also believe in the interpretation of dreams, and then the belief on illness, misfortunes are caused by this harmony between the human and spiritual world, which is also shared, yeah, by other ethnic groups. Yeah, the attack, yeah. So the human spirit can also be attacked by spirit, by the supernatural, okay, by spirits that's been practiced, or just the supernatural spirits, or even animals. Yeah, okay, all right. And so to live well, the elements must be intact and undisturbed. Of course, yeah, if we look deeper into the Melanau, yeah, the element of the soul, yeah, the nasing, the nyawa, and then if you think back about the Iban, yeah, the semangat, yeah, how the semangat will leave the body and then will go through a transformative process, yeah, towards the other world. Okay. Now this one is to show about the recent, yeah, the Kaledian of Sungai Ud, yeah, that was being transported, yeah, to our new Borneo Cultural Museum, yeah. So here we have, I took this photo from Dayak Delhi. I requested from my friend in Sarawak Museum. They never gave me the photos, so I have to get this from Dayak Delhi, yeah. So the ritual was conducted in the new museum, and the direct descent of this Kaledian, which is more than 200 years old, yeah, were invited, and the musical instruments, respect and to inform the Kaledian that they are moving the Kaledian to a new building, yeah, okay, all right. And then next, we also, yeah, I mean, if we talk about Sarawak Malay, it's very diversified also, yeah. We all know in Sarawak, we know that, we have the Perabangan group, okay. We have the Pengiran, Raden, Syed, Sharif, or Tuanku, yeah. And, if you are from Cebu, you probably know about the Syed Idris family. They are the direct descent from the Kesultanan Pontianak, yeah, and they are connected to the second TYT, Tun Datuk Patigi Tuanku Haji Bujang's family. And then the Pengiran, yeah, the Awangku, Dayangku, and then the Raden, Majapahit, okay. We know this prince from Majapahit, Datuk Merpati Jepang, yeah, and the descendants are the Abang and the Dayang, right? So during the Brut colonial, the Perabangan occupied, yeah, very important positions, yeah. They were the Datuk Patinggi, they were the Datuk Bentara, they were the Datuk Temenggong. So the Perabangan, yeah, if we want to trace it now, we could probably trace to Santubong. The old name was Pasir Kuning, right? And then when the aristocratic families of the Sharif Alawi married, they will have the Shaid and the Sharifah. And then the marriage between the Tuanku and the Shaid, we have the Wan and the Sharifah. Yeah. So this kind of kinship or the lineage is very, very interesting. Yeah. And I feel that only Sarawak, only Sarawakians know more about this, and not many people outside Sarawak knows. And I feel that this is a very rich heritage that we could promote, all over, right? Okay, to Malaysia, to Brunei, to because we can trace back, our very close relationship or our ties not only to Brunei, we also can trace to the Mempawah, Sambas, Pontianak, or even Kubu Raya's kerajaan, right? And then in Sarawak or in Kuching here, we have the Kampung Jawa Tengah Kuching, Kampung Jawa Tengah at the Maliha area. And then they have very interesting ceremony that they, some of them still speak Javanese, And then they have this, they used to, during ceremony or makan selamat, they used to have this sajen, it's a box-shaped container. And then they put in rice, gula apong, rokok apong, sireh, and pinang. And I heard they also put nails. And then it will be, this sajen will be placed in 4 corners of the house and under the bed if it is for a wedding ceremony. And then in front of the gate. Okay. And then we have the nasi ambeng that is still being served. The food will be, nasi ambeng will be served on a huge tray and it's shared among guests. And then the special ingredient will be rice, chicken, sayur ambeng. And it's cooked. I tried it before. It's very nice. Cabbage, soya bean, long bean, dried bean curd, potato, and chili, and fried noodles. And sometimes they have fried. They have nasi kuning also. And this nasi ambeng, it can also be served with a kuah, but however for tahle, for the deaf, it is a taboo to have the kuah because it believes that if you have the kuah with the nasi ambeng for a tahle, a deaf tahle, then the deceased, because it's associated with wetness, the kuah, and then it will sort of like make the deceased, at the grave site becoming wet, and suffering, okay, right? So this is a localized belief, So and then the tangible, we have the keringkam, and then it's famous all over Malaysia already, and then we have our Sarawak silat with its special rumpun. And then one thing that I'm very fascinated is the bermukun, that if you go to any important occasions in Miri, they will have this very entertaining, pantun, okay, poetry exchange, something like that. I mean, it's very long, but I feel that this one is very interesting. It's just the first one. Bukan mukun sebarang mukun, mukun kami berisi beras, bukan pantun sebarang pantun, pantun kami minta dibalas. So we see here, we have this Bahasa Sarawak inside, and then the person who listens or the mak gendang, they have to, while the man is bertanda, and then the mak gendang will have to, respond, spontaneously. So this is a very, it's very interesting, and I really wish, that we can see more of this, in official occasions, all right. And then we have like we have this the research that I'm doing with my team from UNIMAS is on the forts, So at the moment there are 14 forts that's remaining. All right, and 9 altogether we've calculated there are about 23 forts, and 9 were destroyed or demolished, for development purposes. All right, so forts are tangible heritage, but what we're trying to put inside this tangible heritage is the intangible portion, where people, who built the fort, who helped the Brooke Colonial, the administration to, supply the belian, to supply the food, for the workers, or what are the rituals conducted, who were who were guiding these places, what were the experiences, yeah. And then some of these forts also, move, yeah, because of soil erosion and all that, yeah. So every fort, yeah, in all the river, on the major river networks, yeah, it has its own story. I mean, if you look at the, the building itself, it's not the same as well, isn't it? But what I'm trying to say is that, even though it's called a name, Fort Alice, Fort, but it has very, very unique heritage, yeah, a legacy, and it's closely related to the people that is living nearby. Yeah, so the community that is living nearby the forts are the best spot person or the custodian or the guardian, yeah, for these forts. Okay, so I know that Sarawak Museum is taking care of these forts, yeah, and they are trying their best. They're doing a good job, yeah. But I feel that sometimes, yeah, our museum are overwhelmed with a lot of things, yeah, a lot of things. And I was thinking maybe, we could, empower the local people, maybe through the district office, or maybe through the JKKK, or maybe through some youth organizations, yeah, NGO, to help, yeah, to empower or uplift, yeah, all this intangible heritage, yeah, of the tangible heritage that's available. All right. So the same goes, this is the map for my own research a few years ago. So if we look at the river networks here, along all these main river networks, yeah, where all the the forts were also around, and also we have the temples, yeah. So the Chinese community's social history is also, yeah, closely connected, yeah, to the bazaar developments, and the bazaar developments is directly influenced by the forts, the setting up of the forts, yeah. Okay, and then I also would like to share with you, yeah, that I find a very interesting or most culturally diverse town it's in a nearby Bintulu, or if you have been there, it's Blaga, yeah. So you see here that the icon of this town, yeah, beautiful town, is a pair of sape. Okay, and it is the homeland of the Orang Ulu. Yeah, there are 13 ethnic groups, and nearly 95% are Orang Ulu. Yeah, okay. Now, if we trace back, the history of Blaga, it goes beyond, yeah, before Brooke, yeah, the Brunei Nakodas, yeah, the traders traveled through Tubau, Pakau rivers to reach Blaga, and at the same time, the Kayan, the Kayan, Kenya, Punan, and also the Kajang, yeah, the Sekapan, Kejaman, Lahanan, Seping, Berawan, yeah, they also traveled, yeah, from Aput Kayan via the Aput and Kajang rivers, yeah. So both sides, yeah, traveled to meet in Blaga, and they traded. All right. So, and eventually some of them migrated and settled along the Balui, Blaga, Bale area, and some moved to Baram. Now, even today, yeah, we have one huge Malay kampong, yeah, in Blaga that can trace their direct descent from the Brunei Penyiran, and they have the Awang, yeah, Awang names, yeah. Okay, so they have stayed on, and every year, yeah, the Brunei kings, yeah, will come and visit them here as well. Okay, so it's just a very beautiful, but sadly, yeah, we also have very small group sets. There's less than 200 people. Yeah, like the Tanjong, there's about 200 people left, and the Sihan, there's about 250. So the Sihan that I've met, yeah, I'm just amused. Yeah, they can speak almost like 7. Yeah, I mean, in Sarawak, if you can speak Iban, Malay, English, Chinese, maybe some Hokkien and all that, yeah. And then on top of that, they can speak Kayan, Kenya, Kejaman, Sekapan, And I was like, I couldn't count with 10 fingers. It's exceeding, yeah. So you see, they are just so culturally diverse, yeah. Okay. And so this is one of the fort that has been demolished for another building, government building, right? And so this fort is in Belaga, is Fort Viner. It was built in 1884. But prior to that, there were already people around Belaga. Yeah? So Brooke administration officially started here, in Belaga in 1884. And the fort was taken down in 1966. Now, according to our team, our members, we have conducted some research here. The local people will call it as a Kubu Perintah, government fort. And some of the Kajang community will call this Kubu as the Kubu Taman Tipong Tuloi, the great Kejaman, after the great Kejaman chief. Okay. And then I also managed to meet with the SAO of Fort Viner. There's no DO in Fort Viner at that time. So this photo was taken. The handsome man in the middle is Dato' Lim Kian Hock. He was serving this fort. And this photo was taken in 1963. And so I managed to meet up with him and to hear very, very interesting stories about the happenings around and in the forts. Okay. So the stories, or the legends, or even ghost stories, it forms a part of the heritage, the intangible heritage of the fort. Okay. And another thing that I would like to highlight, I would like to probably share with all, is the distribution of the clearings in Sarawak. Okay, so this was taken, shared with me by the Punan National Association. Okay, so this is the amount of clearing in Sarawak, and the one that we see in our Sarawak Museum here is the one from Long Pila. Clearing is a secondary burial post. Okay, and if we go to the Melanau area, Kampung Telian, or the coastal area, Dala Oyang Muka, there we will see it's called as a Kelidian or Jerunai. Okay, and then there's a smaller one called Keludan. Okay, now this is beautifully preserved and protected, but one day before the MCO lockdown, I was in Punan Ba village in Belaga, and this is a very it's slanting. I'm standing straight, but it's really slanting. So it's a very there's no protection. And many of the clearing is already crumbled or decayed by creepers in the forest. So protection and preservation work is really not up to date. It's very slow. Okay. So these are the ones found in the Punan Ba village. I've shared this with my friends in Sarawak Museum already. And I hope that, but because of MCO, it was difficult for them to get to Punan Ba as well. So now secondary burial posts like this clearing is for aristocrats, but it's also a marker of territory. You see, it's a place so near, and this was burned. Okay, but it's right next to the longhouse, okay, where they live. Right? So it is a marker of territory, and it is a place where they call the pesupa, where you take off or promises. Okay. Now the word clearing in Punan means to shield and to protect. Okay. So the clearing is placed nearby as a form of protection. Okay. This is another one. And then upon my discussion with the Punan National Association, there are a few clearings that needs immediate attention for protection and preservation. Okay, so I hope maybe the Sarawak initiative, if they have some funding, could fund us in getting some in getting some work done here. All right, and then this one also is taken right before MCO. Is in the Kejaman Longhouse. It's a single post salon or a bureau hut. Okay, so bureau hut like that is a secondary bureau hut like that is very unique. It's a unique heritage to the Kajang community. The Sekapan, Kejaman Lahanan, and also the Berawan and Barang. So some of these, you know, the ornaments, yeah, decorations are dropping, yeah, and so I've spoken to the Ketua Kampong, and they really hope that, yeah, something could be done, yeah, to save the salon, yeah. Okay, and besides that, of course, if you have been to Blaga or Asap, yeah, we have there's the Pesta Save or the Pesta Doledo, yeah, which is, you know, very, very interesting, and the dances and the songs, or the parab, yeah, the drinking songs, yeah, it's very it's very unique. Okay, and then if we look at the tattoos on the Orang Ulu, yeah, or the Punan or the Kajang community, yeah, they believe that the women, yeah, especially the women, should have the tattoos, yeah, from the elbow to the hands and the thigh to the toes, yeah. And it is the torches for the afterlife. It will shine when they go to the other world. And who are the person who tattooed them is also a woman, yeah. And this woman has to have dreams, yeah, and has to have certain signs, yeah, on them. And then when can the woman tattooist tattoo another woman is also based on the you know, the phases of the moon, the waning moon and the waxing moon, right? And the motifs of the tattoo is also determined by the nobility or the status in the family. And young girls, as you know, at the age of 10 years, we start to have the tattoo. All right. So we see it's a hand tapping tattoo, yeah. And I really hope that, you know, more people could, you know, write, you know, and look at the design, and then interview more of these elderly ladies, you know, about the design. They can tell you, yeah, right? And then another one that I want to show is a localized heritage. Yeah, one glance you would think that this is a Tua Pek Kong or a Tokong, yeah, or a temple, but the folk legends behind this, yeah, in Sabau, which is about 180 kilometers from Bintulu, yeah, it's about the three good friends, a Malana, a Melayu, and an Iban friend, were fishing in a boat. They took rest to have lunch, and the lunch is a linut, yeah, dish. And one of them threw the food to a dog by the river bank, yeah, sorry. The poor animal had difficulty swallowing the food, and the three of them laughed. And suddenly the weather changed with thunderstorm, and that was the Hujan Hudi, yeah. And the boat capsized and sank. 3 days later, an island floated in the middle of the river. So the belief that the island is the petrified boat, and some people reported images of boat and laughter from nearby. So they built a temple to appease the spirits of the three good friends. Yeah. So this has transcended, yeah, what you know, is multi-ethnicity, and is a localized belief, yeah, localized heritage. All right. So tangible heritage are more easily identifiable, but it is accompanied, yeah, with intangible elements. Yeah. So while we are promoting tangible heritage, such as monuments, places, efforts should also be made to recognize the beliefs, practices, memories, or the social history or the oral traditions, yeah, of the visible, tangible heritage, because both are equally important. So there must be a synergized role between government, yeah, communities, NGOs, and everyone in Sarawak, I think, yeah. So we should try to create awareness, a sense of ownership, yeah, of the heritage, because once it's gone, it'll be a terrible loss to the community, to Sarawak. Yeah, we should instill the sense of ownership. Yeah, that, you know, this heritage are beautiful, it is rich, it should be promoted, it should be safeguarded. Yeah, and we should get research conducted. We should get the repository, yeah, of each ethnic community, or, you know, or localized heritage completed, yeah. And then the repository must be open source, accessible to everyone. All right. And then only, yeah, community will be encouraged to promote their very own. Well, in other sense, yeah, it has to be a top-down effort first. And when community realize in our way, then we can have you know, and then they feel encouraged, yeah, to promote their very own heritage, yeah, and they will be more interested to participate or contribute to the documentation and the study. All right. And maybe through, like I said before, maybe through the JKKK, or maybe through the NGO, the youth groups, yeah. So active, then only they can become active participants, yeah, in tourism activities, yeah, with the sense of promoting, yeah, and also safeguarding the heritage. Okay. So So in order to promote heritage, we need to have this awareness. Yeah. Okay. For us to really place importance on the rich cultural, rich social capital we have, the very rich legacy we have inherited. Firstly, there must be awareness. Yeah, kesedaran. The importance it has upon the lives of our forefathers. Now, sometimes we hear people telling us that we don't practice the same belief anymore because we have a new faith. Okay, that is fine, but we have to acknowledge the efforts of survival, that our forefathers have, the skills, the knowledge. At that time, it was uncertainty, the dangers, and it was those skills, those knowledge, and those adaptive manner they have acquired through living lives, through challenges, and then they pass it on to us, okay, to the next generations. And then when we are able to see the struggle, their perseverance to live through the hardship, and we see, and then we appreciate what they have done. Okay, then when we can appreciate their ways of lives. Yeah, because that was probably the only method of survival back then. Remember, they have these traditional healings. Yeah, they had no clinics, no doctors to seek help from, so they relied on traditional knowledge, herbs, traditional healings. It was not wrong then, yeah, because back then it was the only option. Without our forefathers, we are not here. We will not be here. So we might have adopted a different faith. We might have discarded some of the practices our forefathers used to believe and practice. But that doesn't mean we should not acknowledge the skills and knowledge they used to possess. All right. Okay. And so these skills have been passed on to the generations, and it is a legacy that has been passed on. Right. If we are able to acknowledge our forefathers' effort, struggles to keep life going, then we have come to acknowledge the legacy. And then we come to appreciate, and we respect, we will explore more, and we will slowly build the passion in us about heritage. And we know with passion, we can explore very far and deep about heritage. So Sarawak's heritage is Sarawak's wealth. Heritage is both a product and a process that supplies Sarawak with a wealth of resources that we have inherited from the past, developed now, present, and it is endowed for the future. So our state has an abundant, has a very beautiful heritage, and we have this kind of wealth that we should appreciate, promote, and safeguard. All right. Yeah, that's all from me. I hope I have not exceeded too much.